And joining me now is the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, Republican Congressman from California, Devin Nunes. Congressman, thanks so much for being here.
Great to be with you on this Memorial Day weekend.
Well, what do you think? Should America be open?
Well, look, I think you're seeing many states across the country are wide open. And here in California, what you have happening is you have a governor in a state that's picking winners and losers. And we saw that a few weeks ago when they filled a skateboard park full of sand, when you saw parks that were being surrounded with yellow murder scene tape. It made no sense. And now what you have is you have some parts of the state are open. Lake Tahoe restaurants are open. Napa Valley restaurants are open. And I think people are beginning to wonder why here in the San Joaquin Valley, where I live, Judge Jeanine, a lot of us have had to stay working. A lot of people here are working meat plants. They deliver food to not only America, but all around the world. And people are asking, why is it that the small businesses in our area are not open? And why is the governor threatening to withhold federal funds? Because the local board of supervisors in our regions have said, we're opening, Governor. We don't care what you say. We have to open because these businesses are not going to be able to make it. And I think, what really people have to look at is just some common sense here. Was it okay to have a mosh pit at Costco or Walmart while the mom and pop store or restaurant was shuttered and shut in? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think those are the questions that people are going to be asking as we move forward.
Well, and they have asked it, and they have asked it in Michigan and in Illinois and in New York. But, you say Napa Valley. I mean, who's making these decisions about, Napa Valley is open, but what you said the Joaquin Valley is not? Who makes that decision? Governor Newsom?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what has happened here. So our Board of Supervisors in Tulare County, where I'm from, they voted to open up. And what happened is the governor came in and says, well, we're going to withhold funds from you. Now, wait a second here. How is that possible? I mean, Napa Valley, vineyards, beautiful place, very expensive, lots of great restaurants.
Well, excuse me. Doesn't Newsom own wineries?
Well, yeah, I think he does, and I'm not placing blame on him for that. Okay, I love Napa Valley too, Judge, and I'm sure a lot of your listeners do. But the fact of the matter is, why in the heart of agriculture in the San Joaquin Valley, where we produce food for the whole world, why would you be threatening the supervisors who are just saying, look, Governor, we got to open up. We can't meet your rules and regulations anymore. And I think that's they see that the haves and the have-nots, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to the American people. And,
Congressman, it's interesting. We're seeing this all over the country. So you can go to Walmart or you can go to, Home Depot and buy certain things. But if there, for example, is a small business that sells the same thing that Walmart sells, so, for example, an ophthalmologist who sells eyeglass frames, you can buy the frames in Costco or Walmart, but that small businessman can't open up. It's like, you can buy ice cream at Target, but you can't buy it at the ice cream shop in town. It's almost like they're trying to get rid of the small business and they're taking care of the big conglomerates. And that's just wrong. And it's very frustrating. But, when we talk about your state nursing homes, what happened with nursing homes in California? It was a mess in New York because Cuomo refused the request to not put COVID-infected patients back in nursing homes. And so 5,800 died. What did Newsom do there?
Well, look, I think the question is most nursing homes are regulated by the state here in California. From the very beginning of this, what are the simple things that we could agree on all across the country? Everybody agreed, hey, let's be really clean. Let's try to kind of separate from one another. But most importantly, let's protect the most vulnerable in this country, which are the seniors with pre-existing conditions. Everybody agreed upon that. But the places where we've seen things blow up, even here in California, have been in the nursing homes. And so, you have areas like we have nursing homes in this area that have been devastated. A lot of them have been devastated. It's very, very sad. But now the people of the San Joaquin Valley that produce agriculture, a lot of people who have stayed working in the fields and stayed working in agriculture are now being punished by this governor because he couldn't figure that out, that he needed to figure out a way to secure the nursing homes. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Interesting connection. All right. And I just want to move to a couple other things. You know, the Supreme Court ruling this week that the Democrats are not entitled to get the grand jury testimony in the Mueller case. Obviously, not a big surprise to anyone who's a lawyer. Grand jury testimony is secret. It is, in many cases, sacrosanct and not to be used for politics. But in addition to that, we've got General Flynn, the Judge Emmett Sullivan refusing at this point to grant the dismissal of the case as requested by the prosecution, Bill Barr. And now the prosecution has requested a writ of mandamus, which is a request to a circuit court to force that judge in the Flynn case to dismiss the case as is requested and agreed upon by the defense. What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, look, what we saw on Thursday, we saw the three-judge panel put together, and they've given Judge Sullivan 10 days to explain himself before the court and let the court decide. So I believe this is a positive development, and I kind of have this prediction. I would find it hard to believe that Sullivan continues on this suicide mission. This is a danger to the court. It's a danger to his legacy. I can't imagine that this three-judge panel doesn't just throw this out. I've never heard of such a thing where you would have someone where the Department of Justice has admitted, and there's multiple ongoing investigations occurring into what happened to General Flynn, where they drop all the charges, and then a judge just says, no, we're just going to continue this. Never happened in history, and it's wrong.
It is wrong, and I suspect the circuit court will agree. But in any event, Congressman Devin Nunes, thanks so much for joining us on this holiday weekend.